Hey everyone, it is 10:42 on this Sunday night. We've got some severe weather rolling through parts of the WCIA 3 viewing area, so we're going to bring you some live coverage here on our digital platforms. We've got two warnings to talk about. During the 10 o'clock show, we mentioned that you never say never. 42 minutes later, here we are with a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings. This is for Christian, Effingham, Shelby, Fayette, and Montgomery County. The primary threat is for some strong gusty winds in the region here. These severe thunderstorm warnings go until 11:15 and 11:30 in the area. So we're going to watch these closely and bring you some coverage online. Again, this is going to include Pana and Shelbyville, Cowden, areas to the north and west of Effingham, just shy of Stewart's and Strasburg, but it will also include eastern Montgomery, northern Fayette County, Ramsey, areas north of Vandalia and St. Elmo. So because we've got some of these storms rolling through now with the potential for some quarter-size hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds, we're going to just do some digital coverage here and stay on our Facebook Live, on the Twitter. We'll be live on our WCIA 3 app. You can watch there. The good news is I don't expect a tornado threat from this. That's the good news. We'll say that out front. But we always say never, so we won't rule it out. These storms look like they're mainly a wind threat for us here as they're pushing off to the east. Again, I'll pop on some of the data for you to peek here and get a view at. You'll notice that the warnings go until 11:30 for Christian, Effingham, and Shelby County, until 11:15 for Fayette and Montgomery County. The storms will push out of Christian, Montgomery County here in the next 15 to 20 minutes, out of Pana and off to the east. Then it will be primarily a Shelby County issue, maybe northern Effingham County. That's also included here, areas to the north and west of Effingham, west of 57, north of Interstate 70. So what we do is we're always here for you at WCIA. We bring you live coverage. We watch these for you and keep you updated as far as it goes. So it's 10:44 right now. I'm meteorologist Jacob Dickey here. What we'll do is we're going to break down the path of this storm. We'll look at it and talk about what you need to know here in the next few minutes. If you pop on in and then pop out, that's totally fine. We'll have people come and go from our live stream on the digital platforms here as we keep updated. But we're here for one storm, which is organized just a little bit here in central Illinois. And that storm centered from Pana down towards Ramsey, getting ready to cross US 51 here in the next 10 minutes or so. So I'm getting a few things taken care of here behind the scenes. I can also watch your chat. We'll also talk about everywhere else, but primarily when there's severe weather. If we talk about your area, that means we're worried about you. If we don't talk about your area, then you're good. And that's what we expect here. So just this one storm for some wind and hail threat. I'm not overly concerned, but it is a severe thunderstorm warning, and we'll watch it here for that. So let me just take care of that real quick, and you'll have your app on your phone. You probably are just getting a notification here as I just pushed that through. And we're keeping an eye on things for you here, of course, on the app. So let's break it down, talk about who's in, who's out, and where this storm is going. First off, if you're watching us in Taylorville or you're watching us up in northern Christian County up by the Sangamon River, you are not in this warning here. This warning only goes for areas around Pana, right here. It doesn't include Assumption. It doesn't include areas like Decatur. It's not up there. This is far southeastern Christian County. As far as Montgomery County goes, if you're watching us in Nokomis, the storm is to the east of you. So we can give it all clear to Nokomis. The warning does technically include you, but it's really for that little I guess you could call it the panhandle that sticks out there in the end towards Oconee and eventually into Shelby County. As far as Shelby County goes, this is going to include Cowden and Herrick. It will include Shelbyville. It does not include Windsor or Strasburg or Stewardson. It does not include Neoga or Sigel. It does not include Effingham either, even up here in the northern part of the county. It's not an Assumption problem. It's not a Moweaqua problem. Let's talk about Effingham County real quick. Who's in, who's out? Effingham, not under this warning, but it's right leading up to you here. You head west of town, like you're heading up to Stewardson or Strasburg. You got all those restaurants packed in there on the highway exit there. You keep going that way, you'll be in the warning. Rural parts of northwestern Effingham County, Banner, Moccasin, a couple of those communities. Doesn't include Altamont, doesn't include Watson, it doesn't include areas to the south of whatnot, but it does just include that north and western part. Let's go ahead and put a storm track on this for you, and I'm going to pull my graphic up here, and let me just make sure I get the time right, how fast this is moving. These storms are moving at a decent speed here. They're not all that fast, but there is some concern for maybe even a little bit of flooding here. Jacksonville tonight, for instance, got 1 inch of rain in 3 hours, so they are prolific rain producers. These storms moving to the east at 30 miles an hour, now right lined up on US Highway 51. That's the main highway that takes you from Decatur. You go south through Macon, you get to Moweaqua, Assumption, Pana, and then you cross down south of Pana into Ramsey, eventually making it to Vandalia here. At a 30-mile-an-hour path, moving off to the east, times of arrival, Pana, it's 10:47. That's right now. Herrick, 10:57. It'll be in Tower Hill by 11 o'clock. We'll be at 11:14 in Holiday, looking at about 11:30 in Banner. Effingham, still at 11:44. That's about an hour from now. These storms not moving all that fast here across central Illinois as we watch it. Let's go ahead and put the loop on this, and let's take a look at the full viewing area. A lot of folks are asking, what about my area? And that's totally fine. We cover a lot of towns here in central Illinois. If I do the math right, I think it was 351 towns that we watch here. And you'll notice that the only warning we've got is with these storms down here. There's a storm centered near Nokomis moving to the east. Another little line here on Interstate 55 from Litchfield down to the south into Madison County. Chief Meteorologist Kevin Liney, he's actually down there in Montgomery County now. He just sent a video earlier letting us know what he saw. So we've got some folks that are in the area. You'll notice though on Interstate 72, not a lot happening here. There are some showers rolling on through, some rain showers, that's expected, but we're primarily looking at just the areas closer to Interstate 70 here where some of these storms are rolling on through as far as it goes. There'll be some lightning out there too. In fact, I'll bring on the lightning just to give you a vantage point of what we're looking at. Let me reset that real quick. It looks like it's giving me a little trouble, so I'm going to kind of adjust one of my settings on that. And sometimes they just got to click a button and make things work. It's just how things go. There we go. That's a more accurate representation of the lightning here. Coles County, Mattoon, Charleston, getting some rumbles of thunder, even down into Cumberland County, areas from Toledo and to the south and east. A lot of lightning and thunder in Moultrie County, Shelby County here, even into Christian County. Our main storm, though, you can see where most of that lightning is piled up here from Pana right down towards Ramsey. That storm now approaching with 60-mile-an-hour winds as it moves off to the east at 30 miles an hour. There's quite a bit of lightning in this storm here coming out of Montgomery County. You'll notice from Hillsboro, you head south there. Eventually you take Interstate 55. It rolls into the St. Louis suburbs. We'll watch that storm too. That may sweep to the east. Behind this one would be for Fayette County, parts of Effingham County in the distant future here. 30 miles an hour. Doesn't move all that fast, but these storms are producing a bit of rain here as far as it goes. So we'll continue to watch this and keep you updated as far as it goes. I'm going to do a switch to a different product here just to again, give a regional view. We use Storm Tracker Doppler to really look close at these things and figure out what they're doing. You kind of see how they're more linear in nature. That gives the indication to me that we're looking more at a straight line wind threat. But we see right here, there's a little bit of a maybe a swirl or some bulging out of the winds. That may be an indication of some more winds here across southern Montgomery County. What I'll do here is I'm going to switch to our base velocity product to kind of look. What we're looking at with this product is how is the rain or the sampled particles, how are they moving? Red is going away from the radar, green going towards. I'm using the St. Louis radar now here since we're in southern Montgomery County, and you don't really see anything that sticks out in particular. There's a faint line right here, an indication of some wind, but there's nothing that's suggesting this is a widespread wind event. Some gusts of 50 to 60 mile an hour is certainly possible. And you can see here from Shoal Creek, just outside of our viewing area, down into Madison and Bond County, maybe some stronger wind there. The storm that's got the warning on it, much the same. And we'll switch between radars here. We can look at St. Louis, we can look at Lincoln, and that's what we'll do. There's nothing that sticks out to me that's extremely concerning from the St. Louis radar, but we'll switch to the Lincoln one, get a different view on it, and this one tells the story a bit better here. Again, green going towards, red going away. This green is moving to the north and northwest towards the Lincoln radar. We've got this red showing up right here, and what we see is right over 150 US 51, Oconee, Hanson, south of Pana, a little bit of a surge in wind there. That's likely some gusts of 50 to 60 miles an hour that'll be moving off to the east through some rural parts of southern Shelby County. You've got Herrick, Cowden down here. Shelbyville's right there, eventually crossing Stewart's and Strasburg potentially. We're just going to baby babysit this storm and be with you all night here as long as there's a warning, and that may mean we're here for a while, keeping an eye on things. Some folks probably sitting at home in bed or watching from a distance. Some folks probably watching from that area. If you live down where these severe weather alerts come from, you got the notice of the severe thunderstorm warnings on your WCIA 3 weather app. Then we sent a push alert through the weather app saying, hey, we're online. You can watch our stream. We'll be here with you for the next couple of hours as far as things go. I don't see anything in here, though, that makes me think there's going to be a tornado from this. But still, straight-line winds can cause some damage. Power outages, bring some trees down, and with 60-mile-an-hour gusts, that may very much be what happens here. So this storm will take its time. 30 miles an hour. We'll be repeating ourselves a lot. That's the way things roll sometimes with the weather. But we know folks are jumping in and exiting and coming in and out of our different live streams as far as it goes. So again, I'm not thinking as of now that there will be a concern for a tornado. This seems like it's more of a straight line wind threat based on what I'm looking at here along the US 51 corridor from Pana down towards Ramsey, Oconee, and Hanson, in between some rural parts here in south and western Shelby County. But we got some folks that watch in that area, and that's why we'll stick with you here as we go. Let's kind of zoom out. I want to sample a few weather storms and get a view and make sure I'm not missing anything. We want to watch things and keep it up, an eye on it, and that's what we're going to do here. So we'll bring back my storm base reflectivity. Here we go. Folks watching on I-57, there's Mattoon, Neoga, Gaze, you've got Sullivan. Some of those areas getting some rain, some thunder, but not severe right now. Our only severe storm to the south and west. It doesn't mean that could strengthen. This storm moving to the east, there's probably going to be some gust of wind in there. You know, we could get even just some 30 and 40 mile an hour gusts as far as it goes, and so that's something that we'll continue to watch here for a bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring a sky cam. We're going to check out some of our sky cams and get a peek of what's going on here, and then I'm going to continue to manipulate a few things behind the scenes. So we'll bring our Springfield sky cam full and take a peek at it. The severe thunderstorm warning right now is just for Fayette, Effingham, Shelby, Christian, and Montgomery counties for mainly a wind threat here. Springfield not in it, but there's been some heavy rain at times in Springfield, some rumbles of thunder out there. Just to the west of Springfield, Jacksonville reported an inch of rain by 9 o'clock. So these are some prolific rain producers here across the region. Quick switch to Mattoon. Let's see what's going on in parts of Coles County. The rain coming down in Mattoon on our KC Summers Flooring America iNet camera. And we'll continue to watch it here with some of those thunder and lightning occurring in the region. We'll watch and see if we don't catch a strike. We'll probably be seeing if there was one right there. Sometimes the weather gets a little camera shy and you miss out on seeing some of those stronger spots as far as it goes. So we'll continue to watch here again. This is mainly a wind threat. I don't think it's going to be a hail threat at all. There may be a little small bit, but we'll watch and keep an eye on it as far as it goes. So just reading some updates from the National Weather Service. They're thinking the same, kind of keeping an eye on maybe some of these other storms. But overall, it seems like right now this one storm is in place. Let's head down the road for Mattoon and go check out Charleston, see what's happening there. We've got folks I've seen in the chat checking in there. Maybe not quite as much rain right now, but the storms are knocking on your door here. I like to say sometimes rain like this with rumbles of thunder can be some good sleeping weather. Sometimes the lightning a little too much. But we'll see, and that's probably going to be mainly the lightning and thunder south of 72. Mattoon, Charleston, Effingham, eventually towards Casey, Effingham, Vandalia. That's where we're going to see most of it here. We'll check in here in Champaign. Not really concerned right now for the Champaign-Urbana area. There is some light rain that's been approaching the area, and we'll probably keep it rain showers for the most part here over the next few hours as far as it goes. But we'll continue to monitor things here from our studio camera, looking downtown, and even checking the stadium camera. We aren't going to see a lot of lightning up here, I don't think. We'll see a little bit, but nothing too substantial. We'll go up to Gibson City and take a peek there, and the rain not there yet, but they'll join in the rain soon. Same for Bloomington. And we'll finish up our little Skycam tour in Decatur with what we're watching here. Some rain. We've seen a few flashes of lightning. Folks in Decatur have heard a little bit of thunder as well. Let's jump back to radar. We'll focus on radar and focus on those areas primarily impacted by the severe weather. Just one warning for the day here. One storm. That's for this storm here surging out across US 51 from Pana to Ramsey. Be heading towards Cowden and Herrick. Moving through Shelbyville eventually, downstream, outside of the warning, sits Stewartson, Strasburg, Windsor, Neoga, Effingham, this is primarily south and west Shelby County for now, only moving at 30 miles an hour. So we'll watch it. You got some time, though. I saw a comment from Megan in Ramsey. Nothing yet, just some rain. It looks like that storm knocking on your doorstep there, Megan, just to the north and west of you. The main surge of the wind, though, is going to be primarily here, and I'll draw it out for you so you can kind of get a view. And it takes me a second to pull up the right tool so I can check. You'll notice right here how it surges out a little bit. That's where I think the main swath of wind will likely come here. You kind of see them bow out a little bit and push out a little ahead. That's where you see those winds. And if we pull up again that base velocity where we show how it moves, you can see right perfectly how that curved line I show you shows where some of those showers and storms are that are surging out and keeping on through. So this primarily, again, south of 72. Am I concerned for Springfield, Decatur, Champaign, and Danville? No. Seems like right now we'll watch for this low-end severe threat for Fayette, Effingham, Shelby, and what little sliver of Christian County is left here. I think at this point we can give an all clear to Montgomery County. You're watching in Nokomis, the storm off to your east, this particular storm. But looks like we just added a new severe thunderstorm warning to the board for southern Montgomery County, that second storm we were telling you about here. So let's just pop it up real quick. It looks like it's surging out a little bit, as mentioned, 60-mile-an-hour winds for Fayette, Montgomery, and Bond counties. That will go until 11:45 here. That storm likely will downstream be a Fayette County issue. This one should stay south of Shelby County, but you keep it moving to the east, and it's going to make its way in the general direction of Effingham County, probably in the next hour or two here across central Illinois. So we're going to watch it and keep an update on it as far as it goes. We got some folks in the chat saying I keep freezing. If you let me know, it looks like maybe the radar or the stream is doing that a little bit. I'm going to play around with a setting and see if I know what it is. We're on the network, so I'm just confirming that we're hooked up to the right things we need to be, and that way we're streaming. So did see it freeze for a second there, but we'll watch. Hopefully my audio, if anything, still is keeping on and whatnot. So again, primarily here for two different warnings, two different storms now, two severe thunderstorms. The tornado threat, not expecting. In fact, I'll put in our premium now right here. You can see where the heaviest rain and storms are. Your attention is brought south of 72. There from Effingham area, Shelbyville, off towards Litchfield, and even over towards the Mattoon, Charleston area. Those warnings, we'll pop them up on top. You can see some of those polygons that are there. Not worried about Champaign, Springfield, Decatur. You can see the lightning and thunder well off to the south of our region, and so we're not too worried about the I-72-74 corridor at this time. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a graphic on social real quick, so if you can bear with me here. Again, we're on digital. We'll be here. So the screen would freeze and words would freeze. I can hear audio. Some folks have said that before on our 8 o'clock chat we did. You may just need to refresh the feed. Sometimes that happens, but we're going to watch it here. I'm going to post another graphic real quick, so bear with me real fast as I do that. And then we're going to get more in detail on some of these cities that are in the path here, and I've seen that question pop up a time or two. It's kind of doing a little multitasking and making sure we are watching things here. So this, again, why we never say never with these particular types of events. So let me get that pull here, and I need to just screenshot for a social media post. The tornado threat, primarily not a concern here. We're mainly focused for some straight line winds tonight, and we'll check to see if we have any damage reports. If you're watching too, you can let me know what you are seeing, where you are watching from, and that will be good for us here to take care of. So time now is 11:01 p.m. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for parts of Shelby, Effingham, Christian, still in the warning, but it's Payne area, Fayette, and Montgomery counties over the next 45 minutes or so. And this is primarily, we're watching primarily a straight line wind threat. We're live on our digital platforms. Okay, let me just get that published and pushed. And it's out. Okay, let's get a little more in detail here and talk about some of these specific storms. Again, I'm meteorologist Jacob Dickey. There's a number of you still on with us tonight. We appreciate it. We know some folks are watching and keeping an eye on things as far as it goes. Main concern going to be for these severe thunderstorm warnings that include Shelbyville, Ramsey, areas west and north of Effingham. You can see this warning here. This is that where it's bowing out just ever so slightly across US 51 now. Nokomis, you're good. Pana, give us another 5 minutes or so. That storm will be clear. This is going to move off to the east towards Cowden. You've got Herrick, Shelbyville, Strasburg, Stewardson, some other places, Tower Hill downstream from it, and downstream there. So we're going to watch it and keep an eye on it. The warning does not include, the question I saw, the warning does not include Windsor and Stewardson as of now, but on the pathway, it will make its way your way. There's other rain and storms in the area here. Again, we're looking mainly at a 60-mile-an-hour wind threat. There could be some small hail. I'm not worried about that. That's just basically what we'll have to not rule it out the way these storms are, but that bowing segments really give us a little more of a straight line wind here. Storm further to the south then, looking a little more impressive, and we'll take a look at it here on that St. Louis radar. That warning goes until 11:45 for western Fayette, southern Montgomery counties. You can again see where it kind of bows out there right on the Fayette, Madison, Bond County line. That looks like that's going to be Bond County here, where Greenville and eventually Highland is. So right there to the south of Hillsborough, and that would make a line to the east towards Vandalia. Downstream would be Effingham County. Storms are moving at 30 miles an hour. And that's all they're moving. And so we'll continue to watch it here, but keep you updated on that. Quick check across the region. Again, we do have a couple of these other storms that are rolling on through. And I'll turn on the lightning. And real quick, I'm going to have to reset this for a second. Some folks saying there's lightning and thunder in Tuscola. Not surprised. That very much is expected here. But the main rain is, the US 36 corridor and south. We mentioned that corridor during the 10 o'clock news. We said low non-zero threat. This is why sometimes it spins up. If I told you no severe weather, well, look at that. Literally less than 30 minutes after the end of our show, there we go. We got a couple of warnings here in the region, and so we'll continue to watch it as far as it goes. So that is the main event for us. Now that I've got this reset, I can bring it back live, and we can take another peek at it as far as we go. I'll show you something real quick. The SPC Outlook, I mentioned, hey, maybe we could get an isolated severe storm. The actual SPC Outlook for today doesn't have any threat for the region, but pattern recognition, watching something, seeing some of those instability values a little higher, and we didn't want to rule it out here. So the official outlook said nothing, but we came on during the evening shows and we said, hey, maybe an isolated storm possible. And if that was the case, then that was going to be something we had to watch. And our threat was sitting primarily here. We said low in threat. Can't rule out a large hail, some gusty winds, but you can see how low these bars are. Even the 20 threat, very low. That is an instance of never say never. But the high wind and large hail, sometimes you get a stronger storm. There's some juicy air that's in place here. It's been streaming on in through the day, especially with this system coming on, and we just can't rule it out. And this is really going to last from tonight all the way through Tuesday, I think. More than likely, tonight might end up being the better chance. Maybe in the afternoon tomorrow we get something. I'm not optimistic on that, but we just want to say that there may be a very, very low threat, long duration threat all the way through Tuesday for maybe a stronger storm somewhere. More than likely, you won't have to worry about anything, but we just want to mention that. The flooding threat, again, that's probably where more of the cookies are going to go in the can for us here as far as watching, more of our attention focused on them. And that's something that we're going to continue to watch here as far as it goes. So we'll watch it here. And keep an eye on it as far as it goes. Just got a text and wanted to make sure we were good with that. So let's bring back our radar here and show you again area-wide what's expected. There's a number of you that are on. There's some of you that are probably watching. I've seen some reports of lightning and thunder in Atwood, even in Urbana, hearing some thunder in Champaign, Tuscola getting some thunder. I'm not worried about severe weather up that way, but we do have some of those light rain showers with a couple of embedded rumbles of thunder. Some good soaking rains, it seems like, along the Interstate 72, 74 corridors. And I'll even turn on lightning. We'll be able to see some of those rumbles of thunder, some of those flashes of lightning here, and you'll see them pop on. There we go. So there's some occasional rumbles of thunder in the neighborhood, a few strikes here, and maybe a couple of strikes in there. But more than likely for I-72, I-74 corridors here, this is going to be some sleeping weather. You have the window crack, you hear the thunder rumble and roll, you hear the rain fall, and you can go to sleep to that. I'm not worried about Champaign-Urbana, I'm not worried about Danville, I'm not worried about Decatur, I'm not worried about Bloomington, not even thinking about Watsika or Pontiac right now. We haven't said anything about folks up that way. Even Springfield, it seems like our severe threat is more to the south here. So there will be some rumbles of thunder tonight in these areas here. Champaign, Danville, towards Gibson City, Chrisman, Seidel, up towards Bismarck, Henning, Hoopeston, Henning, Colliston, some of those areas. We're going to have some rumbles of thunder tonight. That's in the forecast. We get some rumbles of thunder and some spring storms here in this evening. They'll bring some heavy rain, and we'll show you some of our rainfall totals estimated here in just a second. But our main event primarily is going to be for those storms off to the south. And we're going to continue to watch them. From prolific lightning there into Shelby County, even Coles County, Mattoon, Charleston, and then of course that storm further to the south and west, a lot more lightning with that. So that's what we'll watch here and keep you updated. I'm going to turn the lightning off. It tells us a good story, but it doesn't let us see some of these pretty colors on Storm Tracker Doppler as far as it goes. So we'll watch it here. I'm going to loop this over the last 3 hours. You can see the general trend that things have gone here, and here we go. We'll loop that continuously. Again, there's this boundary that's settled in place. We talked about where it might settle. I thought maybe earlier today it'd be along I-72. It seems like now it's just south of there, 20 to 30 miles. That's why we've got these severe thunderstorms for in the Pana area over towards Greenville, north towards southern Montgomery County, south and east of Litchfield. Downstream, by just eyeballing this, and I'll bring it full screen for you so you can eyeball it with me, maybe, just maybe, the storm that's there in Shelby County showing some signs of weakening, those winds surging out, maybe not quite as impressive, but we'll watch it, and even the same for that storm to the south and west. You can see it doesn't really have as much of an impressive look on radar, and right now we're using I believe we're using the Lincoln radar. I'm going to switch and check our